Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss about the important components of Android. When creating Android apps, right, we might have to use some of the important components. Without that components we cannot create apps. Those components we are going to discuss. Those components are activity, service, broadcast receiver, content providers. Let's see what is activity. Activity. So activity is the UI part of the app. Every visible screen of an application is an activity. For example, take the right hand side screenshot. This is a simple expense manager app. That application is having many screen. I have taken only expense recording screen. Okay, this is one screen. So in that screen we have some widgets hosted there. This is visible to user on mobile screen. Okay, so this is, we can say that as an activity. This is one kind of activity where user can record his expense or income. Here activity is listen for user input. Yes, definitely. See here, like if I'm tapping on income is selected and the expense is unselected. Instead of fruit, if I select gift is selected, this will be unselected. And if I tap on anything, right, this number will be typed here. And if I tap on this edit text, and you can keyboard will be opening on the screen, and you can type what kind of fruit it is. And if you tap on this one, a time picker, date picker, a date picker, calendar widget will be coming on the screen. It means like when you tap on and when you interact with the screen, so something is happening. So this activity is ready to accept your input. So we can say this is listening for user input. When I tap on this one, it is accepting my input. When I tap on this one, activity is accepting my input. So activity is ready to accept user input, or we can say user interaction. Okay, user is going to interact with application using activity. And activity responds to user interaction also. Like if I tap on this one, if nothing is happening, it means activity is not responding. If I tap on income, if income is selected and the expense is not selected, I mean unselected, it means something is happening when I interact with the application, right? So we can say activity is responding to user input. If I tap on this one, mango, right, keyboard is coming up. If nothing is coming up, it is not responding. Keyboard is coming up, right? So it is responding. When I tap on this one, keyboard is coming up. When I tap on this calendar widget is coming up. So activity is responding to our user interaction, we can say. And all widgets are hosted in the activity. It means, see, all of these are widgets, visible widgets. Two button is there, and list item is there. Inside every list item we have one image and label, and this is a text view with number pad. This is also a text view. This edit text, this is text label, this is a button. Okay, so all of these widgets are hosted inside an activity. So activity taking care of creating a UI for our app. Okay, if you have created one UI and you have to show that UI to your user, you have to host that UI into activity. So activity is taking care of and rendering the UI, and activity allows user to interact with the app. So we can say activity is the UI part of the app simply. Okay, let's go to the next one. Service. Service does not have UI. It is opposite to activity. Okay, activity is having UI, service does not have any UI. In this case, take this example, music player. Okay, service does not have any UI, and without UI, what is the use of that? Okay, without UI, what it is going to do? It is going to do short long running background process, not short running, I mistakenly said. Okay, it is useful for long running background process. Okay, and what is that example? The best example for service is a music player app. Take this music player app, and in your mobile, if you are having a music player app, open there and you tap on any song, right? If you tap on play button, a song will be played in background. How can we ensure this is playing in background? Just close the app. Okay, just tap on back button, close the app, and still your song is playing. So without UI also some task is running in your application, right? That is where service comes in. Service taking care of running a task or performing some work without any UI. Here playing a song is like without activity, we are playing a song. Even though if you close music player app and lock your screen and put your mobile in your pocket or bag, still that song is playing. How this is happening? In the in the service only. So service is taking care of running a long taking care of long running background process in our app. So in music player application, this is the best example. And service runs with UI or without UI. Yes, as I said before, whenever this screen is opening, right, if you tap on this play button, parallelly your audio started playing. Okay, and you are listening to that music. In that case, UI is there and your audio is playing. So both is at the time, both is there at the time. So service is running with the UI. If you close the app, activity is not there, but service is running. So service can also run without UI. Okay, and both service and activity can interact with each other. They can share data. And the best example is like close this music player app, still music is playing in background. After 10 minutes or 20 minutes, if you launch the application again, it does not come from where you left off. It show currently what song is playing and what is the progress on the task. So it means like service is the assistant who is playing that song, right? Service only know that which song is playing and what is the current progress on the task. But how when we start the app, UI is also showing that progress. This is because they are interacting with each other. So service is mainly for running a long running background process, and service does not have any UI. Okay, let's go to the next part of broadcast receivers. What is broadcast receiver? First, the name itself says broadcast. Broadcasting in the sense emitting something or sending something. Receivers in the sense receiving something. Okay, so what is the use of broadcast receiver here is like broadcast receiver can send some action with data, and other broadcast receiver receive that action along with the data. So what is the use of this broadcast receiver then, where we are using in our Android application when creating Android apps? Okay, so consider if you want to download a large file, it's around 500 MB movie or 1 GB 2 GB of video file. If you wanted to download, you definitely want internet connection, right? So to do the download properly, what we will do, we register for Wi-Fi broadcast receiver, okay, or internet broadcast receiver. So what is the use of registering the receiver there? Consider this is the broadcast receiver transmitter, this is the broadcast receiver. Okay, this receiver is in our app. This receiver is a system level broadcast. Okay, we have two broadcast. One is system level broadcast and application level broadcast. System level broadcast in the sense, for example, in our application, our current scenario, as I said, right, Wi-Fi connected. This is not specific to our application. Wi-Fi connected in the sense for entire device your Wi-Fi is connected. So at that point of time, our Wi-Fi connected is a system level broadcast. Okay, so we wanted to download that file, 1 GB 2 GB of that video file when connected to internet. If it is not connected to internet, simply pass that download, and when connectivity comes again, simply resume that download. So how we wanted to identify whether the Wi-Fi is connected or not? For that, we wanted to register a broadcast receiver with action Wi-Fi connected or not connected. Okay, simply in our Android application, register for Wi-Fi event, and our application will receive that event along with the data. What is the data? The data is whether it is connected or not connected. If it is connected, started downloading that file. If it is not connected, pass that file without download. So this is how broadcast receiver is working. Okay, so broadcast receiver is a kind of event management system. System level event is there, application level event is there. For example, I said before, Wi-Fi is the system level broadcast. If you wanted to create your own application level broadcast, you can create. For example, we discussed already activity and the service, right? Take this one here. This is activity. Okay, and somewhere service is also playing because the sound is playing in a service. Okay, this is activity, and this audio is playing in service. Now we wanted to send action from here to there, or there to, I mean, activity to service, service to activity. Use broadcast receiver. send that broadcast to receiver along with that action and data to other part of the app. There other part of the app receive that broadcast event, and specific to that event, which it will check for the data, what data input data is coming, and depends on the data, there we can take the action. Okay, so this is how broadcast receiver is working. Let's go to the last one, content providers. What is the content providers? The name itself says content providers. What content it is? Some content it is providing, it means, right? Content providers. What content it is? This is application data. In our mobile we have stored lots and lots of data, right? Those data are the contents. So these content providers provide the data. I mean, content providers is in the sense data providers. Okay, this is not specific to our application. Content provider is a centralized part of data container. Okay, this is not specific to our application. Consider you have a bucket and you put some ball inside, and your friend putting some ball inside, and your another person putting some ball inside. When you go to that container, some bucket, you can see all of their ball, right? Red color ball is your friend one have added some ball, that is there. Friend two added some ball, that is there. But in case of content provider, if my application is having some data, app 2 is having some data, app 3 is having some data, if all data are added in this centralized container, other application can read that, right? This should not happen, because my application data is specific to my app. How other application read it? Yes, this is the important topic in Android. When it comes to data, right, content provider is important. Content provider is the centralized data container. Even though your application is saved inside a centralized data container, other application cannot read it. All applications data saved inside a content provider, but application data will not be exposed to other application. There are some securities inside. That security will not allow our application data to access with other app. Okay, and same like other application data we cannot access also. So if you want to share our application data to other application or other application data to our app, that we can do. That is also possible. So simply we can say content provider is a kind of centralized data container where we can share data from app to app, or within the app we can maintain. So this is all about important components of Android, guys. Let's quickly go through one by one. Activity we have covered, service we have covered, broadcast receiver we have covered, content provider we have covered. And first one, activity is the UI part of the app, service is for long running background process. Activity is having UI, service does not having any UI. Okay, do not confuse. Here I am showing some UI, in the sense this is activity, but when I tap on this button, something is playing in background. Even though if I close this app UI, app is running some service behind. Inside that service only your audio file is playing. Okay, so service is useful for running a long running background process. And broadcast receiver for sending event from one place to another place, or to receive system level broadcast we use. Along with that action, we can send the events categories. Lots of flags are there inside. Okay, and content provider is a data part for our application. It's a centralized one. If you want to share our data to other application, we can do. By default, it will not share our data, application data to other app, and other application data also we cannot access. Okay, this is all about components of Android. Thank you for watching my video. Let's connect in the next session.